Thank you so much for being here in this sacred message from Spirit. Today is not easy for me to deliver this message because this sounds as sweet and bitter lesson when it comes to your love life. And it's so powerful because here we have a lesson, but we have a magician to start your reading. And it tells me that somebody out there is coming into this huge self-realization. What is love? If we wouldn't have a magician, I could not say this, but your eyes are very wide open to all this pain which you have witnessed inside of you, all those romantic connections where you didn't feel loved, you didn't feel being seen. You are the magician, you know what you deserve. You know that love is actually having that higher vibration within yourself, first of all, because if you don't have that in you, how can you look for that in others? I am sensing that you have attracted many people who would look for love in you, but they had no idea that actually they have it within themselves. I'm hearing trauma bond, like you have felt so alone, just like it says here on this card. It almost felt as, what am I doing here if by being alone I feel the most powerful, I feel the most sacred being? But I am seeing it took time for you to come into this big self-realization. Like you kept on attracting connection after another connection where it just felt that somebody gives you this romantic love, but it's not a real love. So you kept on being with those people who didn't know how to love you. How could they love you if they never knew how to do that within themselves? This is a painful lesson because you couldn't understand why do you keep on attracting over and over again. It's because this is a very huge lesson for you, my precious soul. Maybe even now you are afraid of falling in love again. Actually, I'm seeing somebody who says, I'm not gonna fall in love, I'm gonna choose love, I'm gonna walk into love with this person. But you're still afraid that what if it's gonna happen again? What if this next connection will be the same thing? Because it kept on happening for such a long time for somebody out there. But let me reassure you, Spirit wants you to know that it's not gonna happen. Because here in this reading, you are the magician. You are somebody who has learned to love yourself in the most powerful way, in the most gentle way, unconditionally. So you are ready, you are open to receive this highest vibration of love, this other person who will match with your vibration. You are doing the inner work. You are still trying to understand why it kept on happening over and over again. Spirit wants you to know that it's not easy to break free from those repeating patterns, those painful cycles, that which we think it's love. This could be very, very huge for somebody out there, because probably you've seen that as a child, as a teenager, what is love, the way your parents loved you. Maybe for some of you, you felt only that you were needed, but you were not being loved. This is a huge self-realization. You are letting go of the old. And because you do that, of course, you have to remove the roots of this problem, remove the roots of this childhood trauma for some of you. Especially if you had a parent who was always detached, didn't know how to love you because they didn't know how to love themselves, of course, you will be subconsciously choosing those people who will be like your parent, that same energy, because you think that is love. That's what you've seen when you were a child. But now you understand, okay, I know I have to change this, but how can I fully remove this from my whole being? So I would never, never attract those connections. And because we have a magician and take the lead, you already understand that this is possible. Everything is in your hands. You will not choose connection, the one which makes you feel lonely, the one that makes you feel like you're not being loved, you're only being needed. I'm seeing somebody who's been attracting connections, those people who needed you. They were clinging on to you, but also they were so detached. They were not able to show up in relationship with a full cup of love. Let's see, is there anything else? We have a sacral chakra. Some of you could have some blockages within your sacral chakra, like sudden moments when you feel a certain emotion is rising in you, and maybe you might even feel like something old is coming back. As long as you are aware of your feelings and you are able to see through them, you're already over this situation, over this trauma. You know what is love. Now you only need to practice in the physical reality. to be aware of not falling for people who are unavailable, for people who can give you only romantic love. Somebody out there has been through many, many connections where it was just the illusion of love, romantic love. But now you know what you deserve. You know that it's time to choose. You cannot go back to the old. You're gonna make those wise judgments. You're gonna choose wisely. Even if there will be days when you are feeling tempted to go back to the old, I'm seeing for somebody out there, you could still receive like a test if you have fully learned the lesson. Like somebody could approach you and you already know how to recognize that kind of behavior in people. Those people who approach you quickly, you know the signs, you know what to expect in those connections because you've been through that. Success and growth. You cannot get better than that. We have a magician, we have a success and growth here. We have to take the lead. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You are overcoming this huge lesson. Like you are learning from that. You are ready. You are open to experience true love in physical reality. In spirit, you already feel that, you already understand, but now you only need to practice, you only need to do that in physical reality. And spirit says it's still not going to be easy for you to change that story which you have always carried within yourself. But now you are aware of it, now you understand, now you know. So you are open to true love. It doesn't matter when this is gonna happen. What matters the most is you traveling into this new awareness, shifting your focus into attracting that which you deserve, not that which you desire, but that which you deserve, that which you know is true love. This highest vibration of love, God's love, eternal love, unconditional love. So that was your reading. Thank you so much for being here and all my love to you. Bye-bye.